Hello, welcome to Cigar Smoker UK. Back for another video. Today I'm going to smoke this random thing, which is an Indian cigar, the Churchill Special No.1. Let's hit that review. So good afternoon, welcome back. I'm going to do another review and it's nice to see some comments from people saying we're pleased to see your reviews again. It makes my day. Thank you for that. So the cigar I've been sent, and I didn't pay for this, I was sent it by the Fenn Thompson Co Cigar Company in India. This is, and for those of you that read certain books, this is a Tiruchirappalli cigar. And is mentioned by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle in one of the Sherlock Holmes books, and the Holmes manages to identify some ash and identifies it as a Tiruchirappalli cigar, and that the suspect was smoking a Tiruchirappalli cigar. And also apparently Alfred Hitchcock mentions them in either a film or a book or something like that. But it is to Churchill that this company is most famed, because apparently the Prime Minister was very fond of these cigars when he couldn't get his Cubans. This is the brand that he decided to go for. And at one point there were thousands of producers of cigars in Trichy, I think they call it, which is a small town in India. Now there's just the one, about 40 people work there, and it's the Fenn Thompson Cigar Company. They don't have a website. They do have Instagram, so I'll try and put the Instagram link down below. I have no idea how much this cigar is. I forgot to ask, and then because they've got no website, I didn't. The interesting thing that they do is that they don't age their cigar leaf, they ferment it. So it'd be interesting to see how a fermented cigar, I guess more like if you've ever smoked pipe tobacco, like a Perique, which is a sort of cured tobacco, aged in a barrel, which is probably more fermented. So maybe it's got more of a sort of spicy note to it because of that. So we'll go the old-fashioned way. I can't find anything. So it's 6 1/3 inches, or 62 centimeters. And it's about a 50 ring gauge. It's about the size of a RAS and a D4 or something like that. So 123 years this company's been about. And I just think it's interesting that they just sit there in India making these cigars to order, I think. They've got a little range of stuff, and this seems to be their special cigar. And they just found me on Instagram and sent me a little message saying, can we send you a cigar? Now, I have to admit, this was last year when I wasn't really smoking much, and it's been a while, and I feel like I've done them a disservice by not doing it quickly. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what this is like compared to something else. So I guess the ordering process is, because it's India, if you live in India, you're probably going to be able to get these no problem. But if you don't, it came in a UK postage thing. So I'm guessing there's someone here that potentially sells them. I really can't find. There's a couple of articles online about them. I'll post the articles down below. So there's like a news written article, and there's a YouTube video all about them as well. So I'll pop them down below and you can have a look at them. This is quite interesting, and quite a bit of history going on here, because it sounds like the Indian government are taxing them at, I think they said 49% on their cigars. So a lot of companies have just gone completely out of business and aren't doing it anymore. So yeah, all Indian tobacco. It smells, you can tell it's not Cuban because it doesn't have that particular smell that a Cuban has. But it's a kind of like a barnyardy smell, wet grass on the tobacco. And it's got a kind of like a bit of a green sheen to it. I don't know whether that's the fermenting process or the leaves they use are a bit younger than perhaps normal. The Candelas, the green cigars, maybe it's going to be a little bit like that, which can be quite raw. So yeah, interesting to see what it's like. So I'm not going to keep you any longer. I'm going to cut this. I've got to cut around here somewhere, and then light it up, and then we'll see how it smokes. Right, so I've lit it, and I have to say it's very mild on the palate. It's difficult to say because there's not much at the moment, not flavour-wise. The draw is good. The construction of this car is good. Yeah, it's very pleasant to start with. There's that little bit of chocolatiness that you get with most cigars straight away, but then you think about other things, and it's almost got like a fruit note to it straight away, and I wonder whether it's because of how they ferment it. Now, they sent it in this lovely little presentation box, which I thought was nice. It's got their address, the Fenn Thompson Co, August 24. It says best before 6 months, so I'm just in that. Yeah, Churchill, 35 North Vakandara Street, South India. But what it does say in the box is that they ferment it in a solution of molasses, pineapple, banana, coconut water, honey. So, I mean, I can see why there's like a fruity kind of note to it. I have to say, it's one of the mildest cigars I've had in a long time. Just a little bit of leaf there. The ash is quite flaky. That's the only thing I'm going to say at the moment. I have stored this in a humidor, and I don't know whether you're supposed to or not, because if you think about some Dutch cigars, you don't need to humidify them. You go in the store and they're just on the side. They're not squared away or anything. Little bit of cedary note to it. It's quite woody as cigars go. Yeah, there's little hints of earthiness in there. So it's an earthy, woody cigar. That chocolatey cocoa note has just disappeared. You normally get that with more stronger cigars. So yeah, it's not. I mean, the ash is flaking away all the time. So I guess it's going to be kind of flaky ash all the way up there. So I'm probably going to knock this off more. I don't know. They obviously want to promote themselves a little bit, sending it out. I think there's a guy in Portsmouth that's done a little review on their Instagram. The Curiosity place. I can't think what it's called now. But yeah, it's a big cigar as well. It's quite long, sort of Toro size, I'd say, maybe a little bit longer. It's not quite a Churchill size. I think you'd be looking a little bit longer, and the ring gauge is a little bit too big for a Churchill in the more sort of like traditional sense. But they've got their own heritage. They've got their own history. You know, Churchill was apparently a fan of these cigars. I'm going to smoke this. It's a nice evening. It's quite cold, but I'm just going to sit here. I've got a Coke on the go. And I'm going to smoke this until I get too cold. And then we'll see what happens. Have to keep the door open. Anyway, I will come back in a bit. So here we go. I've smoked a fair bit of it now. The little band fell off. It's remained quite a mild cigar. I certainly haven't felt it's overly strong. It's got those nice sort of fruity notes, which is very pleasant. It was a little bit harsh at one point, but now it seems to have mellowed out again. The ash is the only thing really not massively keen on, but then I don't smoke a cigar for the ash, but it's very flaky and it drops off, and I've had quite a lot of it drop off everywhere, more so than a normal cigar. Now, I never know whether it's because I read things and then it's implanted in my subconscious about what the flavours are, but I'm definitely getting a bit of banana on this. And I don't know whether they use banana leaf or something like that in the fermenting process, or how they ferment it. I couldn't find much out about that. The bit about Churchill apparently is more to do with the fact that the ships coming across the Atlantic, they couldn't bring stuff, so he had to find other things. And like I said, being a colony, it was easy. And there was a person in the Home Office who was just getting cigars for Churchill. I mean, the man smoked a lot of them and probably got upset when he couldn't get his Cubans anymore. But yeah, I tell you what, this would be an ideal barbecue summer's evening, standing around in the garden chatting with people kind of cigar. It's not the kind of cigar you want to concentrate on. It's enjoy with friends kind of cigar. That's how I do it. You could stand outside, tossing your burgers and doing all sorts of stuff and smoking, it's a good clencher in the mouth as well, if you want to do that. See, I've had a bit of a chew on it. And I can see probably why Churchill enjoyed these so much. But do you know what? I thought it was going to be absolutely awful. But I'm actually really surprised, and my brain is now going, I wonder how much a box is. I wonder how I could get a box. Maybe I could get a box of these. Maybe I could get a couple and smoke a couple. You know how your cigar brain starts to think, I haven't got enough cigars. Maybe I need one more. So I'm already thinking, I wonder if I can get some more of these. I think they'd be good at a wedding. They're kind of easy smokes for someone who doesn't smoke cigar. They're quite big is the only drawback for that. But when you've got a load of people outside and celebrating someone getting married, you could pop these out. They look pretty impressive. And everyone's going to go, oh, yeah, Churchill cigars, man. They are well good. I think you could impress some people with those. And again, it sounds like the prices have gone up over the years. But yeah, it'd be interesting. I might message them and see how much they are and how we can get some. But anyway, I'll come back right at the end, just do a little final thought. Back in a tick. While I'm back, I'm right down the end now. It's been interesting. I wouldn't say this cigar is going to blow your mind, but I like the history behind it. I like the romanticism of it being linked to one of my favorite authors. I like the fact that it's mentioned in one of their books. I like the Churchill link behind it. The cigar itself, you'll probably, if you smoked it, you'd probably think this is okay. I'm not, it's not going to set the world alight. But like I said, I think this is just a decent everyday cigar that's mild and you could give to anyone. Anyone would smoke this and be quite happy if they wanted a cigar. It's not too heavy. It's not going to knock you off your socks. They don't have a lot. Apparently, the fermenting process reduces a lot of the nicotine, so you don't get the nicotine sickness that you would perhaps with a Nicaraguan cigar, which are quite strong. It's not as ashy as like a Connecticut. I sometimes find Connecticut cigars a little bit too cigarette-y with that leaf that they have. It's just too light for my palate. Whereas this is just about right as a light cigar goes. There's only been a couple of times when I've thought, I'm not massively, don't like that puff. But it's only happened a couple of times. Would I smoke another one? Yeah, why not? It's not, I'm not going to rush out and buy it, but I certainly would consider having another one of these. And I'm very grateful to the Fenn Thompson company for sending it to me for free. I mean, free cigars. Who doesn't love a free cigar? So there we go. The Churchill Special No.1 by the Fenn Thompson Cigar Company in Tiruchirappalli. It's a lot of words. Cigar. There we go. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed smoking this cigar. Anyway, until I do next review, take care and look after yourselves. Bye for now.